Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, I have an EasyStringer in this box. No, it's actually called an EasyStringer. All right, guys, so before I get going, coffee of the day sponsor who wants to roast me is Ali Hamdani. Ali Hamdani, thank you for the coffee. Ali says, enjoy the coffee. You make great videos. Hope the shop does well this year. Oh, thank you, Ali. I greatly appreciate that. And I greatly appreciate you roasting me this morning. All right. If you want to roast me and get me my morning cup of hot brew, network is buymeacoffee.com/tennis spin. Link is below. Thank you, guys. All right. So my man Mike here just brought me over this, and he's like, have at it, man. And I'm like, great. As you guys know, I've been stringing on, some high-end stringers, and I can do those in a good amount of time, 15 minutes, less, whatever. This is going to take me a while, okay? It's going to take me a while. But I get it. I get it. A bunch of you guys were always saying, oh, you string on that thing. How about stringing on like regular, stringing machines? And I'm like, okay, fine. It's whoa, what the heck? Okay. So here's a picture of it, right? Mike and I agreed that looks like a caulk gun. And then this is the stand. So this actually pulls tension with this handle. This holds your racket with the 2 points. This bolts onto the table. Okay, so I'm gonna have to read over this a little bit. I know that there are floating clamps on this thing. Man, there's a lot to read, man. I'm a People magazine kind of guy. Let's take a look at the machine itself. Wow, it looks like a gun, like literally a gun. Like it's made out of metal too. I can't imagine that if you try to take this on TSA in your carry-on, that they ain't gonna stop you. Because when that thing's going through the conveyor belt, what does that look like to you that you're trying to bring on the plane, right? They're gonna be searching you. Look at that. Look at that front part. Looks like a freaking something gonna come out of there. This is what's going to hold the racket and swing around on the 2-pointer. All right, guys. So I am set up to string a racket with this EasyStringer now. So I got the caulk gun here ready to go. Caulk gun. I'll show you why I call it the caulk gun when I get going here. But I want to give you a few tips when you're using this thing, though. First of all, make sure this thing is on a sturdy table and that you put it nice and tight on the table with this thing. You don't want this thing moving around or at all when you're going, because this has to turn the racket, okay? Now, the other thing that I just realized is that it's probably best that you pre-string the first 2 mains on here, because once you get it down here, it's actually hard to see where you are. And when I mounted it, it was so difficult to find the center of the mains. So I would advise you to put the first 2 mains in first before you do anything else. Try to get this mechanism right where the racket will stay flushed, okay? And then hold this side, hold the racket, okay, just like so. And we're gonna drop it into the frame, okay? So as you can see, that's nice and snug. Because we centered it first, you're ready to go just like that, okay? You put this down and you put the I call it the wing nut. Tighten it down. The other wing nut. Very important, you tighten these things down. You don't want this racket shifting too much. Okay, last turn over here to make sure nothing moves. Okay, so now we're actually ready to go. I got 50-50 here, just like I do any other racket, okay? Half the mains go here, half the mains go on this side. Two-piece stringing, guys, two-piece stringing. The only thing is we're using floating clamps today. I'm gonna find the right holes. Clamp the two on, well, that side so that I can get going on this side, okay? In the middle. Under the frame, you see this? The strings go through here, like this, okay? But I need it to be on the frame itself. So I'm gonna get down, I'm gonna come up into the frame itself. So the center's in between. This is kind of the leveler, or you put it in between so it gives you a little guidance. It's the guider is what it is actually. Okay, so I have it right up against the frame. I'm gonna go around this and then through the middle. Or should I go around this and go through the middle? Like this, okay? Oops. Okay. And then I start pumping, okay? You see that? Tensioner starts to move here. So I'm putting tension on it. When I get to 50, which is where that white dot is right there, okay, I'm at 50 on these two. I get the floating clamp. I go down here. There's a lever down here to release the tension, the 50-pound tension, okay? So I hit the button. You're done with the first two mains, okay? So now I'm gonna take the side that I just tensioned and I'm gonna continue for one more. Okay. Again, I'm gonna give myself a little room. I need this to be a little shorter, so I hit the button and I move it back. So lever, release, okay? So again, here, go around, through, down, ready, go. So I'm pumping right arm until I get to 50. I'm at 50 now. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna tension there. Okay, I'm gonna hold this and release. All right, I'm gonna take this side now, the other side, and do the same thing. Get rid of my slack, come up to this string from underneath, okay? Come around, come through, all right? Time to pump. You can see the floating clamp moving as I'm laying tension into it. One more pump at 50. I'm at 50 now. I'm gonna hold on to this one though. I'm gonna go here. Okay. I'm gonna let go. See all that tension? Okay. So I'm gonna go here, just like the other side. Go back right here. Okay. So this is a two-hand project, guys. Manual stringing at its best. At least I'm not using a thorn or a branch and twisting it like you guys saw in that video. That kid was great, man. If you haven't seen it, the kid was like twisting to get tension on a branch when he was stringing a racket by hand. All right, so I'm just gonna continue until I'm done with the mains here. So I'm into my crosses now. Here's the thing about the mains. I tied off already. When you're pumping, there is no not thing 10%. You just keep pumping until you get to the tension that you want to, because this thing will actually keep moving up and up and up and up until it feels the tension, or you gotta look down at the tension you want and kind of stop there, okay? So I've just started my my crosses here. The mains are still on. I figured out a new way to tie this thing up. I'm just gonna tighten up that knot. So what I'm gonna do is continue on the crosses now. Actually, it's way better sitting down, I gotta tell you. Feels a little interesting to me sitting down because I've never strung sitting down before. But because this is so low, I had to kind of do it this way. So. And as you can see, I'm kind of manhandling this machine here. There. Gave it a little extra tug too for because it's the first couple. So I'm just going to continue now. All right, I'll see you when it's done. Hopefully it won't take me too long. Oops. Okay, so here's some tips that will make it easier and faster for you. As I was doing these crosses, I noticed that it's probably best that you reset or reload this every time. Just push this lever and then go all the way back, okay? The other thing is, I tried to string a bunch of crosses and then kind of just went like this. But because I strung a bunch of them, the tension actually became too great and wouldn't allow me to pull the tension of the strings because there was so many woven through at one time. So I was like, that's not gonna work. So don't skip too many ahead. Just skip one ahead and then pull the one back, just like what I'm doing here. So pull tension on this, but work one ahead, like I taught you in my other stringing video, okay? Now, one of the key things that I've learned is this little cylinder here is spring-loaded, and in order for this to catch, you actually have to take it one around and then come in through the middle, okay? And so I figured out that the best way to do it is, I don't think it really matters which side, just pick a side, and then wrap it all the way around and then come through the middle and then go downwards and then start pumping. because you want it to engage as fast as you can. I thought this would be pretty bad for, you know, I wasn't expecting to have a good experience here, but surprisingly, not horrible. Not horrible. I think I'm at about the maybe 30-40 minute mark here. My plier go. 30-40 minute mark here. So these tools are actually my own. You'll probably have to buy those yourself, okay? Because this machine only comes, or this caulk gun stringer only comes with the gun part, the racket holder, and that's about it, guys. You have to buy the floating clamps yourself. My buddy Mike got these from a different company, and I'm familiar with this one, and I know it works really well. So, so yeah, I would definitely recommend these metal ones. Because you only get the two pieces, this piece and this piece. You're gonna need the tools. You're gonna need the cutters, you're gonna need the pliers, you're gonna need the floating clamps to hold tension, or else there'll be nothing to hold your tension. Last one. The interesting thing is with this technology, with this bracing here, it actually hasn't done anything to this racket. It hasn't scratched it, it hasn't damaged it, it still looks great. It's a soft plastic that won't mess up your racket. Ready to tie the knot. First knot, half hitch one. Make sure I give it a good tug. Pumped a little extra on that last cross, okay? Just so you know. Pump a little extra, maybe like 5 pounds. Okay, that's it. Too bad Coach Chris isn't in town. Would have been that's it. Okay, I'm gonna straighten it out a bit. All right, take the wing nuts off. Racket still looks round, still intact. Got some tension. So I did the whole thing at 50 pounds according to my pumps. I did increase on the center a bit since I was gonna start. I increased in the center a bit since that's where my start was, and I was pulling 2 mains at the same time. I also pumped extra on the ends, starting knot, the 2 last mains, and then the last cross. I did those at 55 pounds, according to the pump meter. So, got my tensioner out. Let's see if it actually says 50 pounds. Put it on. 34. 34 dynamic tension equates to 49, right? Does that say 49? 49 pounds. 49 pounds from this machine. What do you think, guys? 49 pounds, pretty good. Took me about 50 minutes from start to finish. Yeah. You know, the experience wasn't that bad. You guys know, and you guys have commented to me, it's like, oh, wish you could string on one of those, you know, flying clamp machines. Well, I just did, okay? And it wasn't that bad. So about 50 minutes, I got it done. Definitely for portability. This thing's great. Not sure if you can travel with this. I'm guessing you can, even though it looks like this thing. Like this way, it looks like a gun. But anyways, the personal stringer, the EasyStringer, wasn't that bad. Really wasn't that bad. So I would recommend this for people who just do it casually. I would definitely not string 5, 10, 20 rackets on this a day. That would be kind of brutal. Okay? So I want to thank Mike for hooking up this machine, this EasyStringer for me and letting me test it out. He's going to be the one getting this next. And okay, I just showed you how to use it. Okay? All right. Thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. You know, most people, they quit tennis because, you know, it's hard to find somebody to play with, right? I just feel so lucky to have my buddy Coach Rob, that we have so much in common. You know, we're both kind of follically impaired. You know, ain't that right, Coach Rob?
Us follically challenged friends have to hit together.
Yes. So I have Coach Rob. If you guys need a friend and you're follically impaired or are a bearded one and looking for your bearded mate, right? Check out Player Court. They have people that look like you, play like you, maybe act like you. Check out their site. It's playercourt.com. Your tennis buddy can teach you how to twirl.
Hopefully
You'll get it someday.
Hopefully better than that. We'll have to keep practicing, Eric.